Gashana, who else we got on the call? Y'all, Ram, Dog, any questions?
No, sir. I'm sure if I can find it, sir.
I sent you the article too, y'all, Ram.
Comic-Con, sir.
Lord Christ, who we got on? Napaz, give me Matthew 24.
Come on.
Who just chimed in on the conference call? All right, when you got it, go ahead and start.
All right, come on. This book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumor of wars.
It's 24, chapter 24?
Verse 6.
Nah, just start at verse, we're going to get that. Just start at verse 1.
Oh, come on.
I know why you went there, but go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple.
Right, so Christ was always teaching, man. Like Commander Junior Muhammad, like General Muhammad, like all officers in this school. You know what I mean? Once you become an officer in the ISUPK, you are what? Authorized to teach.
Comic-Con.
So your job is go out and teach and raise the dead. Go get every black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian the Lord wanted in the school. You know what I mean?
Comic-Con.
And to the day we die.
Right.
So Christ was always out teaching. You know what I mean? And the disciples was with him. You know what I mean? Sometimes. Christ would go in the place by himself and teach. You know, when he was 12 years old, he did what? He was amongst the lawyers and doctors, you know what I mean, having a conversation with them as a young man, discussing the laws in the Bible, you know what I mean? So he definitely grew up on these scriptures.
Comic-Con.
You know what I mean? So it said Christ went out and read it again, Pash?
Come on, verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple.
Right. So the disciples showing Christ the buildings of the temple. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another.
Right. Christ said, you see these buildings that you telling me to look at? Well, Christ said, you see these buildings? Christ said, it's going to be what? Now, one stone left upon another. Meaning what?
Slug, sir. And these buildings will be brought down. They will be destroyed.
They're going to be destroyed, man. And this what? This thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? Christ was under the what? The Romans.
Right.
You know what I mean? AKA the white man.
Right.
You know what I mean? We under the Esau today. So-called white man today.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that goes to show you that Christ, people that the same race that was ruling over Christ is ruling over us. And Christ said thousands of years ago, these buildings, these big tall buildings, like you see in New York and all over America, they're gonna be thrown down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
That shall not be thrown down.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be?
Right. The disciples wanted to know. It's like you want to know. You living in the world, you ain't never know that the world was going to end. You ain't never know that, you know what I mean? Just imagine you walking up to Christ, showing him, you know what I mean, tall buildings. And then he looking at you and like, listen, it's gonna be thrown down. It's gonna be knocked down. You're gonna do the same thing the disciples did.
Right.
You're gonna find out why he say that. Like, what you mean it's gonna be thrown down? So what's gonna happen to me? You know what I mean? You're gonna be thinking like that. If it's gonna be thrown down, first of all, how you know that? Mm-hmm. Let me know what you know. You know what I mean? So the disciples went to Christ privately, like, listen, when this gonna happen? Read that verse again.
Come is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be?
Right, go ahead.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
He said, what should be the sign of thy coming? Go ahead.
And of the end of the world.
End of the what?
End of the world.
What is that talking about? Honduras?
So like it, sir, not being in the truth, we understand, sir, that the end of the world is really the end of that society, the end of that reign and that rulership that's oppressing the children of the children of the Most High.
Right. Like we know that the end of the world is talking about right here is end of, like I said, the Romans was ruling during that time. The end of Esau world,
Right.
Esau society, Esau kingdom. You know what I mean? Because in the world, brothers and sisters in the world, they see that we taught that the end of the world is what? The end of Earth. Like Earth is gonna be destroyed.
Right.
There's gonna be no planet. You know what I mean? But of course, the word world mean what? Age or society.
Right.
So Christ is just letting the disciples know. Well, the disciples asked Christ, when is gonna be the end of the world? Give me in the Apocrypha. Give me here you go. Unless y'all can put it up on your phone. Give me the end of Esau world. You got it. Go ahead.
Okay.
And while he's getting that, the part you keep reading.
Verse 4. And Yahweh shall answer and say unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Take heed that no man deceive you. There's going to be people lying and trying to deceive you. It's people who don't know nothing, but when they open their mouth, they're going to think they talking about any and everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? We run across them all the time. Everybody think they know the Bible. Everybody think they know the scriptures.
Right.
What the scriptures say, what Christ tell the disciples, paraphrasing, he said, you reading the scriptures, and the scriptures is talking about me. You know what I mean? They coming up trying to confound Christ, but the scriptures is talking about Christ in the Old Testament. You know what I mean? I'll paraphrasing, but blacks, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people, we don't know the Bible.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because of our so-called leaders who supposed to be teaching us the Bible, they don't know the Bible. You know what I mean? They don't know the scriptures. That's why they're not teaching us about war. They're not teaching us about the end of the world. You know what I mean? They don't give a damn.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Right. People. Everybody think they Christ-like. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? Thinking they know these scriptures. Thinking they the savior of black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had Malcolm X, you had Marcus Garvey, you had Martin Luther King or Michael King.
Right.
I mean, all these so-called black leaders who failed us because the Lord wasn't with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's many that's gonna act like they know what they're talking about, but they did what? They deceived us. Christ warned us thousands of years ago. Beware, take heed, do not be deceived.
Right.
We got people now trying to deceive us. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
You should hear what?
Shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
You hear of wars and rumor of wars. Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled.
See that ye be not troubled. Now, your Christian, our leaders not telling us nothing about war, what's going on right now. Matter of fact, people leaving the church.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
black people tired of being in church, man. They leaving the Christian pastors. They ain't teaching us about wars and rumors of war. It's a war going on right now with Russia and Ukraine.
Right.
I don't hear them talking about it.
Right.
I've been watching the news for the last week, but I've been watching news all morning. You know what I mean? I just got finished talking with Officer Y'all wrong. Been
Right.
watching news. I jumped in the car. He playing the news. Your Christian pastor ain't saying nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? You said,
It's like, if I may, sir.
go ahead.
They want you to pray for the Ukraine.
They want you to pray for the Ukraine.
Don't pray for your own.
Don't pray. That's right. They want you to pray for Ukraine. You know what I mean? Have y'all seen a profile picture of the Ukraine flag? Y'all ain't seen that yet?
No, sir.
I'm surprised. You know when Syria, they had the flag for Syria, Libya, anybody that's at war overseas, they had their flag. You know what I mean? Crying out for them. We gotta pray for them, man. But you over here strung out on drugs,
Right.
Right.
bugged out of your damn mind, and filled with mental illnesses. Black, we need therapy, we need every damn thing, man. We are destroyed, but we weren't about Ukraine.
Right.
Black
Right.
people don't even know Ukraine. Don't know no Ukrainians. Go ahead.
Like I said, if I could, as heavy what you bring out, you know, the society saying to pray for Ukraine. But earlier today, I saw a brother on Facebook. He said, "You want to talk about pray for Ukraine, but you won't even pray for the Bloods and Crips."
Right.
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 We'll
Nah,
always
they ain't
have
gonna
war.
pray. They ain't gonna pray for the Bloods and Crips because
Right.
the Bloods and Crips in their eyes need to kill each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? They should be killing each other. You know, when they think about the Bloods and Crips, it's more like, you know, y'all doing the white man's job for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? They ain't praying for them because you know why? Because they the children of God. They children of Israel,
Right.
and we the most hated. Like over there in Ukraine, like the general brought this out the other day. Like they not even letting black people get on the trains over there in Ukraine.
Right.
Right.
Like you think you think God loves everybody and you supposed to love everybody. They not even letting you get on the train to leave, to escape.
Right.
Basically, you can die in the bombs. Basically, what they letting you know. You know what I mean? And of course, a lot of them Hamites, but you got black people over there too.
Right.
But yeah, Putin, man, Putin ain't playing no games. They just had a sit down today, the second sit down, and the Ukrainians said they still didn't reach their intended result. So they got to talk again. Like they just talking and trying to negotiate. Putin said he ready to carry it out to the end, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Most high Christ.
Putin, I'm right. Get the Lord in hand. The Lord.
Right.
That's really who allowing this to happen to make sure we free. You know
Right.
what I mean? We want to be free. Christ said the truth should make you free.
Right.
I mean, you want to be free, then you're supposed to expect to see what Christ said was going to happen. You're supposed to see wars and rumor of wars.
Right.
You seeing a war being carried out in front of your eyes right now. That's what Christ said was going to happen. It's prophecy being fulfilled.
Right.
Go ahead, Napash. Hold on, you got the
Come.
read that real quick.
Come.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. The disciples asked Christ, when was the end of the world? How you know when the end of the world is? When you start seeing Esau being destroyed.
Right.
Right.
And in the midst of Esau being destroyed, what's going to happen?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And what we
Right.
doing the work right now. Esau kingdom being destroyed, we building up the Lord's kingdom right now. So while you seeing all these Edomites, these nations against nations, kingdoms against kingdoms, destroying one another, we loving one another, building each other up.
Right.
The 12 tribes, the 12 lost tribes, I mean the children of Israel. That's our job.
Right.
Read that one more time, Hadar.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right, so you should have some strong in here, sipping your strong. You know what I mean? Tonight, watch that news, wake up, watch the news, listen to the,
Right.
whatever on your phone. I know everybody on their phone, so.
Right.
YouTube, wherever. You're going to see it on Instagram. They posting memes, all types of things, man.
Right.
So, right now, it's the spirit of war right now. Go ahead, Napash.
For all things must come to pass.
Read the last verse you read. Read that one more time.
Come. This book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Mm-hmm.
See that ye be not troubled.
See that you be not troubled. What that mean? Why Christ say that? See that you be not troubled. Because he know war, people scared.
Right.
Make people scared. Make people afraid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why? Because people get killed. People die in war. They said it was 500,000 Ukrainians that fled, or they flee, but they say 1 million of them fled now. 1 million Ukrainians done fled. You know what I mean? And they trying to have a ceasefire. Putin ain't with it right now, man.
Right.
Right.
Putin ain't trying to hear it, man. Them piss Putin off. Go ahead.
For all things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right, the end is not yet. Like it's more wars coming. You'll hear about rumors of war and more wars. see Russia and Ukraine, you're gonna see other people getting involved with that. America too. America acting like it's going, you know what I mean? Now don't want to engage in it.
Right.
You know how arrogant America is. America want to be involved in all bloodshed on earth, man.
Right.
Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 7. For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Go ahead.
And there shall be famines and pestilences.
There should
And
be
earth
what? There should be what?
famines.
Famines, like food shortages right now over there in Ukraine.
Right.
And I even seen today on YouTube, they got the Russian soldiers. It said some hungry Russian soldiers, they over there looting, tearing open the grocery stores, ripping the safe out, eating all the food, doing what the hell they want to do, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And the Ukrainians, they say it's food shortages. They got the churches over there, you know what I mean, setting up aid efforts to feed the people. Listen, the Lord ain't playing, man. You know what I mean? The Lord ain't playing. So he says it's going to be what? Famine. That's what Christ said. Famine is coming.
Right.
Go ahead.
And pestilences.
And pestilence. What is pestilence?
Like it's pestilence should be diseases.
Diseases, man.
Sickness.
Sickness. Diseases, sicknesses. That's already, you see the damn pandemic, all people sick. It's going to be all over, man.
Right.
Be chaotic. Go ahead.
And earthquakes
Earthquakes. Go ahead.
in diverse places. In diverse places.
So it's gonna be earthquakes happening all over. That's going on too.
Right.
You know, California be catching them earthquakes,
Right.
volcanoes, eruption, all types of wildfire, forest fires. You know what I mean? The Lord is allowing everything to be carried out before, in the midst of us building up the kingdom of heaven, man.
Right.
Because he gonna make sure, you know, the people that had us in captivity, in slavery, and oppressed us over 400 plus years, even before the American captivity, you know what I mean? The Arabs had us in captivity, all these heathens.
Right.
The Lord gonna put them all down. He gonna subdue them all
Right.
under Yahweh, our King, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Napash.
Come. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
The beginning of what?
Beginning of sorrows.
It's a sad time, man. It's a sad beginning of sorrows, long on Christ. Man. Christian, what we say, y'all run the Christian pastors, they sad right now.
Yeah, they sad. All the congregations, sir.
The Christians are sad, man. Christians
Right.
supposed to be, they supposed to be sad. They don't teach you what's in the Bible, no way.
Right.
They supposed to be sad. I mean, we not sad in the eyes, we happy, man.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We good, we too wild. You know what I mean? The Spirit of the Lord is in this school.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the Christian church, they sad, man. People leaving the church, they realize the pastors, false prophets, child molesters.
Right.
You know what I mean? Abusing people, lying to people.
It's like,
Go ahead.
Sir. The brother I was telling you about on the ride in that I talked to at the slave, he said that when they want to be a pastor so bad.
Yeah.
I asked him because he's like 25. I said, "Do you notice a lot of people your age leaving the church?" He said, "Yes, a lot of people are leaving the church," and he said, "And it's because of the molestation that's going on." He even knows it.
Right.
He said because of the molestation that's going on in the church, and this and the third. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they know. They know. A lot of them, see this war, now that this everything breaking out how it is, you know, people ain't gonna be afraid to talk about it now. People start to leave them churches, it's gonna open their mind and start speaking out what was going on in them churches.
Right.
You know what I mean? They ain't gonna wanna, you know what I mean? Who says like it? Yeah, was just, go ahead.
What you just said is so heavy, you know, and I watched a documentary about what you're talking about right now, and the churches are empty based on the fact that, you know, of a prophecy that Commander General Yohana had gave a long time ago saying that the churches would be closed. The churches had to close, you know what I'm saying, because all of the debauchery that they were going on in the molestation, you know what I'm saying, allowing any and every sin to possibly be known to man to go on in the church, it had to happen, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Listen, give me Napaski, is that it on that?
It's beginning of 9.
Let me hear that.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be
No, you start right
afflicted.
there. Give me Jeremiah 28:8.
All right, come on. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that had before me,
The prophets that what?
that have been before me, and before thee of old prophesied, both against many countries, and against great kingdoms.
Read it, start at the top, read it again.
Come. This book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that had been before me, and before thee of old prophesied, both against many countries, and against great kingdoms, of war.
Of what?
Of war.
Jeremiah said the prophets that came before him, they prophesied of many countries, of war. Go ahead. And these prophets of old. You know what I mean? Old prophets, Old Testament.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And of evil.
And of what?
And of evil.
And of war, and of evil, and what else?
And of pestilence.
And of pestilence. And Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, all the prophets, man.
Right.
They prophesied the same things.
Right.
Because the Lord put the Spirit on us. They prophesied, you know what I mean, what was going to come to be. Now we at the end. You know what I mean? About to be at the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got wars and rumors of wars. We're getting there. You know what I mean? Getting there. And it's all for what? Our freedom.
Right.
You know what I mean? This how it looks when the Lord fighting to free us. You know what I mean? Give me I want to get into that article. I should get into the article right now. Matter of fact, y'all wrong. Pull that article up.
Come, sir. Ready, sir?
Come.
Trans people stranded and alone in Ukraine following Russia's invasion.
Most High Christ. Most High Christ.
Read it one more time.
Come, sir. Trans people stranded and alone in Ukraine following Russia's invasion.
Go ahead.
Trans people in Ukraine tell Vice World News they are fearful of trying to escape Russian forces in case they are prevented from leaving by authorities.
Oh yeah, Putin not playing, man. Putin not playing. Like they over there on the other side of the earth. They understand. You know what I mean? It's gonna get into it, but they understand like how we look at, you know, how America itself, you know, the LGBT.
Right.
It's wartime now. You know, war irons everything out.
Right.
You know, you can say you're a man more than a woman all you want to.
Right.
You better get your manly on that field and fight for your country.
Got that right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Kawukan. This article is as of March 2nd, 2022. Trans people in Ukraine have told Vice World News that they are totally stuck and scared for their lives in the country.
It's crazy because it's like how trans people, you know, how they fight for their rights over here in America.
Right.
You would think they ain't scared of nothing. How they, you know what I mean? You say something wrong on the internet, they all jump down your throat. They all attack you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would think they got a mob, a mafia or something. Like they about to come kill you because you said you happy to be straight.
Right.
You could be a straight man happy to be straight, and they look at you sideways. What you trying to say?
Right.
You got a problem with the LGBTQ community?
Right. So like it, sir, if I may, they're talking about nowadays. They're talking about that there is no such thing as a natural, or they're the natural woman. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to take that moniker and make
trans
sisters.
women is saying they the
Right.
natural woman.
Right. And trying to take it away from women who say we're natural women. We're born women. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to get rid of that. You know, so it's just telling you they hate women. You know what I'm saying?
And women hate men.
And women hate
See how, you
men.
see how I go?
Go right.
See how I go? See how the Lord deal with them?
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep going.
It's like a foot on one.
That was just Kaz, go ahead.
If you transgender, it's like.
Hold on. Kasiad, you just was saluting, right?
Come on, sir. I'm in route. Come on, sir.
Okay, alright, go ahead.
Come on, sir. If I could, you got the LGBT, the transgenders thinking that the men thinking they're women. So then wartime, why don't you just think they free and just relax? I mean, if you are what you think you are, just think you're free. You're good to go. That's like it.
Because you got real men who know about war, and it don't slide everywhere. That's in America, man.
Right.
That's in America. They push that nonsense. Putin ain't having that. Go ahead,
Come on, sir. 2 Ukrainian trans women said that they can't leave Ukraine or even safely travel through it because of their identification documents say male and mention their old masculine names.
Male and mention their old masculine name. Who they are born. Where they are born.
Right.
Yeah, you saying what's the Kardashian stepfather? What's that dude?
Oh, Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Or
He born Bruce Jenner, right?
Bruce Jenner, yeah. Now he
You
can't.
born Bruce Jenner, but you try to tell the world that you are what, Caitlyn?
Right, right.
Not over there in Russia.
Right.
In Russia, you Bruce.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
You a man. You a masculine man, and what they say, ages 18 to 60.
Right.
You get on that field. You gonna be a man today. Go ahead.
Right. Salaki, sir, if I may. That's a heavy point you brought out because even with this, their ID show that they still a man.
Right.
So they must not really be all in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even believe it yourself when your ID, because if you really believed it, that would have been one of the first things you changed.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I know you said like over here in America though, they get their identification changed, right?
Right.
They get it like their ID is say a woman.
Well, I don't know, sir.
Like
They changed it all.
They
The
switch it
name.
up. Yeah, they switch the name and all that. Like you a man, but you want to be a woman, and then you go switch your ID to you
Right.
want a woman.
Right.
Makes
It don't even make no damn sense.
It's an insult if they don't switch it over to being a woman. They think that's an insult. So they want to switch their ID, their name, and all of it. They don't want to be known, no traces of being a male. Once they change to a female.
Even though they born a male.
Okay.
Oh man. Somebody get that.
Oh, sure, we get the jump on.
Go ahead, y'all, Ron.
Come on, sir. Some trans people have been advised to lose their ID by human rights groups in order to get out of the Ukraine.
They've been advised to lose their ID
Come on, sir.
in order to get out of Ukraine. Go ahead, Hadar.
So like you said, so they're being told to lie.
Right.
They're being told to lie now. Pretty much, that's what that means. And it's amazing because like the oppressor just he's showing just how full of lies he is. His whole life, everything he does is a lie.
And you know if they telling you got to go to war and you saying you're a trans, they basically letting you know. Listen, they probably like, listen, you going whatever, however you looking, you gonna stop looking like that. You gonna start back looking like a man. Like they don't bring it down like that on them. Because if they over there wearing, you know how they do, looking like a woman, and they letting you know like, nah, you on your document you a male. You gotta look like a man, and then we're gonna put this gun in your hand.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Putin ain't playing, man. Yeah, cause that trans, all that LGBT, all that's going away. The Lord gonna destroy all that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, war gonna iron all that out.
That's
They
right.
gonna wish they never was. Ain't gonna be no transphobia, homophobia, none of that garbage, man.
Right.
A man gonna know he a man, a woman gonna know she a woman. They gonna know they gotta get together and have children.
Right.
You know what I mean? Back to normal. Go ahead.
Come on. Trans campaigners estimate this issue is leading to hundreds of trans people in Ukraine being left in serious danger and feeling completely alone.
How they feel alone? Keep going.
Come on. One trans woman said she is terrified of being stopped trying to leave Ukraine and being forced to join the Ukrainian army as a man. Salaki.
Man, they trying to get everybody to sympathize with them, man. They trying to, you know what I mean? Oh, it's wartime, man. Yeah, if they ain't letting black people, they ain't letting people get on them trains. They deny access to certain people. they gonna treat them the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Come. Especially because authorities are stopping men aged 18 through 60 from leaving. Another Ukrainian trans woman is too scared to leave her accommodation in fear of transphobic attacks.
I can imagine when they stopping them, they looking at them like, what in the hell am I looking at? You know what I mean?
Right. So like because if you think about it, you got people 18 through 60 having to fight, and they probably looking at some of them like, man, you just trying to get out of fight.
Right.
Why I gotta go and you gotta stay here?
Yeah.
You know, act like you a woman.
Yeah.
So like you said, the Lord is bringing it
Yeah,
out.
they looking at ID. They stopping and see their ID, it say male, but he looking like a woman in the car.
Right.
Like, nah, you ain't gonna deceive us.
Right.
You a man.
He dedicated.
You know what I mean? Real. Go ahead.
Come.
Shalom Christ.
Like, she's the only person left in her neighborhood. One trans man who transitioned over 6 years ago and has lived as a man in Ukraine since only has an ID showing female. He told Vice World News, Vice World News about his fears of leaving his house and trying to make it across Ukraine. It's like it, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
You went from a woman to a man. Now you need to fight. You bad. You know what I'm saying? Now you afraid?
Yeah. Now you went from you a woman, now you saying you're a man.
Right.
Man go to war, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like you really a woman, but you wanted to be a man. So since you transferred into a man, you got to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's weird, man. It's
Right.
weird. That's why Blacks, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people, we got to get out of stop doing what heathens doing, man.
Right.
Trans
Right.
And, hey, the Lord is not the author of confusion, man.
Right.
A man is a man, a woman is a woman.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And women don't go to war.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Con. During a phone call, screaming and explosions were heard coming from outside his accommodation, but he still refused to leave because of his ID issue.
That's it?
No, it's like it, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
He rather, this thing rather get blown up than leave. They got bombs going off in your neighborhood, in your area. People screaming, hollering, on fire, running up and down the street. But you afraid because you done transformed yourself into something else, and you afraid to leave your house now.
Ridiculous, man.
Because you don't want to go to war. You rather get blown up.
It's ridiculous. The Lord about to solve all these problems, man.
Come.
And war is known to do it.
Right.
Like, you think people gonna just be sitting around and, I know he a man, but he act like they ain't sitting around and thinking like that when it's
Right.
like blowing things up, man.
Right.
Cause that deletes, like let's say let's say they was in need of some soldiers, but you portraying to be a woman.
Right.
Let's say half of your community was portraying, half of your country was trans, acting like women, but you're really a man. Like we ain't really got no soldiers like that.
Right.
They
Right.
ain't gonna go with that.
Right.
They gonna like y'all are men.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's gonna happen just like that.
That's it.
Unless they just gonna be scared and, you know what I mean, whatever Putin bring on them, or Ukraine bring on them, they gonna have to deal with that.
Right.
Now imagine America. Imagine what's gonna happen in America.
Oh yeah.
This is it's the safe haven of all that.
Right.
Go ahead, who on the conference call?
I'm wondering what you said and what's going on in the world with all these wars and how the homosexuals can't get away from this hellfire. Could we use Jude chapter 1 verse 7 for a precept?
Let me hear it.
Come. This is the book of Jude chapter 1 verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of the eternal fire.
Yeah, cause that's like it's set as an example. Sodom and Gomorrah is an example of, the modern day LGBT community.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? You see what the Lord did, you know what I mean? He destroyed that.
Right.
And that destruction is an example of not to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Lord said we even worse than Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we got that example to look at, and we still disobey the Lord.
Right.
So we worse. You know what I mean? And we in the thermonuclear wartime anyway.
Right.
The Lord said he ain't gonna flood the earth no more.
Right.
He's gonna burn it this time.
Right.
So everything going over there right now with Ukraine and Russia, that's leading up to the Third World War.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
Come on.
So, Yahweh.com, you can. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. A non-binary Ukrainian person explained their fears of leaving Ukraine and heading to places like Poland or
What
Hungary.
is what's that?
Salakia.
What's that?
If I may,
Somebody look
sir.
that up for me. I need to know what that is.
Yeah, Salakia. Non-binary is somebody who doesn't consider themselves any type of gender. You know what I'm saying? They don't identify as any gender. They whatever they want to be whenever they want to be it. Whenever it's comfortable for
You
them.
see why Putin, Ukraine them like, no, you a man, you're
Right.
a man, because you obviously you a man or a woman.
Right.
So for you to act like you're not a man or a woman, somebody should tell you a man or a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Wartime they gonna say like you a man, you a
Right.
woman, you a man. You don't fight this war because you stupid.
Right.
You think you neither, but you one of them.
Right.
What you about to say, Barya?
I was saying if we ain't got no man to fight, we gonna fight.
That's what I'm saying. If we looking at a man, we looking at a group of so-called non-binary men. We know they man, but in their mind, I'm not no man. You can like, you a man.
Right.
How you feel, man?
Right.
They like that's not gonna work, man.
Right.
The Lord put the spirit of war on this earth.
Mhm.
You can't hide behind a non-binary gender, like whatever that is. You can't hide
It's
in
like
that.
they
Okay.
call it fluid. Man.
They call
Fluid.
Louis.
Fluid. You can go either way.
That's what they call it.
Fluid.
Fluid.
F-L-U-I-D. Fluid.
Man, all these silly names,
It's
man.
bad.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Who on the conference call? Go ahead.
I was wondering if you already used the precept for all these different genders of Mark, I believe it's Mark 5, 8 to 9.
Oh, you want to pull that?
Oh, no, sir.
Somebody pull Mark. You said chapter 5, verse 8.
Verse 8 through 9.
I have it, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 8. For he said unto him, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. Verse 9.
Oh, you said, what about that scripture, Cassiai? You talking about come out the unclean spirit being in the man and woman?
Well, basically, them saying that there are all these genders, in verse 9, it says that we are many, if I'm not mistaken.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 9. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many.
God, yeah. Yeah, you got a legion, you got a lot of demons on them, man. That non-binary and trans, there's a lot of demons on them, man. You think it's just that? No, it's a lot of demons, man. I mean, like, the Christian church, they molested a lot of black, Hispanic, Native American people.
Right.
A lot of them believe that, a lot of them, they homosexuals now.
Right.
They got a lot of demons on them, in them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's definitely a good precept, Cassiai. Who is it, Gashan? Go ahead.
I did want to piggyback on what Officer Kajai brought up. They used that same scripture when they put together that scene in Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider would fight that demon. He called himself Legion. He took over all them different spirits.
Yeah, you got a legion of demons. Y'all wrong, go ahead.
Come, sir. A non-binary Ukrainian person explained their fears of leaving Ukraine and heading to places like Poland or Hungary, where their identity is ridiculed and not recognized. I need to choose between my own country that I have learned how to navigate or a totally foreign place where I could feel even more excluded and in danger, they added.
You know, like with the non-binary and like the trans and all that, they gonna be marginalized, man. Like they gonna be In war times, you gotta choose a side.
Right.
Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, you gotta pick a side. Because wherever you think you are, we see who you really are, you know what I mean? I mean, especially the government and the rulers of that country. Come on, man, that's Esau. Esau blessed with the sword. Esau ain't about to play with you.
Right.
Is that it on that?
There's a little more in the article if you want me to continue.
Go ahead.
Come. A humanitarian crisis is unfolding in Ukraine following Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion. The UNHCR, the United Nations Refugee Agency, confirmed that 520,000 refugees from Ukraine have now entered neighboring countries since last Thursday, warning this figure has been rising exponentially, hour after hour. However, trans people may not have made those journeys.
It's only been like a week, and Putin already, he moving on, man.
Right.
He moving in. Like Benjamin Hunter said, he probably can take over the whole damn country in a couple of weeks. I mean, and they like I said, they sitting down trying to have a talk, trying to, you know what I mean, come to an agreement for the ceasefire. They haven't managed to do that yet.
Right.
So Putin still, he let him go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give me Joe Biden and he just came out and said they're attacking the yachts, you know, the billionaire assets of they targeting Russia, oligarch wealth. Somebody pull that up.
So like,
Go ahead.
it's so heavy that you were talking about them sodomites being put out, being cast out, you know what I'm saying? I got another precept if I could.
Go ahead.
1 Kings chapter 14, verse 24. And there were also sodomites in the land, and they did according to all the abominations of the nations which the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. And the reason I say it is because the Most High is revealing to the world and to the blacks and Hispanics and Americans all around the world, you know what I'm saying, where his moving to, and he's putting it out there and revealing it to us and letting us know and validating that this Bible is real.
Yeah, man, Christ ain't gonna return with the holy angels and with the kingdom and start looking at you like you non-binary, man. Like you're a trans woman, trans man. Christ ain't returning to be, Christ not confused who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? They know. He know, the angels know. The Most High know. He returned to shed blood, man.
Right.
You got it?
Come on, sir.
That's the one with Joe Biden?
Come on, sir.
Let me hear it.
Biden says the U.S. will seize yachts and luxury apartments from Russian oligarchs.
Right, so they trying to cut the money off. Whatever Russia got invested in, making billions of dollars, they cutting them billions of dollars off. But yet Joe Biden said what? He's not trying to engage in war.
Right.
What do you think that's doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? They said I was watching the news earlier. They was like, America is really like trying to poke at Russia bit by bit.
Right.
And then, yes, acting like they not involved in it, but they doing little things like this right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, read it.
Come. Biden says the U.S. will seize yachts and luxury apartments from Russian oligarchs with wealth parked in the country. We are coming for you, ill-begotten gain. Your ill-begotten gains.
That's what Joe Biden said. We're coming for you, your ill-begotten gain. Don't sound like he's not trying to engage. You know what I mean? Sound like he's involved, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? You stop a man. You said money is a defense. You stop a man money.
Right.
You stopping him defending himself.
Right.
In a way. You know what I mean? Hadar?
Like I said, if I could, this goes back to how I said how the oppressor is just so full of lies. Like how Biden's gonna say, you know, we're gonna go after your ill-begotten means like you knew this the whole time. You knew this the whole time. You let this ride.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden it seems inconvenient for you. It seems inconvenient for you. Now you wanna be the good guy and try to reprimand people.
Yeah.
And look good in the press.
Yeah. They devils, man.
Right.
You know, I love it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't care if Joe Biden don't want to be involved. He get involved. Russia blow it. I love to watch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
White on white crime. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah. Right.
I like bringing it out so the brothers, the people can know.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they saying we criminals, black on black crime, y'all do nothing but kill each other, sell dope to each other, you know, abuse your women, abort your babies.
Right.
Look at y'all.
Right.
Good job. Go ahead.
Come. President Joe Biden fired a warning shot at Russian oligarchs during his State of the Union address on Tuesday evening, saying that the U.S. will soon seize much of their wealth in the country. In the country.
Listen, that's a problem. That's a problem. And what Putin said? Putin said if anybody getting involved,
Right.
there'll be consequences, man.
Right.
Now you see why they can't come to an agreement every time they sit down at Belarus.
Right.
They keep going back to Belarus. Listen, man, we need to talk this out, man.
Right.
We need to cease this. Third conversation. Listen,
Right.
first round, second round, they talk about the third one. They plan to talk again. They didn't reach the agreement. Go ahead, y'all.
Oh, Salakia. Putin said in a way that we have never seen before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. Meaning he ready to use what he got.
right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? He ain't put everything in Ukraine right now.
Right. So
Even Ukrainians know that.
Right. Like in it was the movie Rush Hour, the first Rush Hour. Like the little Chinese girl said, "I'm sitting watching the news talking about push the goddamn button." You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's another thing. Putin and China,
Right.
they got a connection.
Amen.
You know what I mean? You about to see some crazy. Well, I ain't gonna say crazy, but you about to see some real warfare
Right.
on this earth being
Right.
carried out. That was it.
There's more on it if you want, sir.
Go ahead.
Khan, this is a quote. "We are joining with the European allies to find and seize your yachts, your luxury apartments, your private jets," Biden said in his address. "We are coming for your ill-begotten gains." It comes in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The U.S. has joined European nations in imposing a litany of sanctions intended to cripple the Russian economy and sever its ability to connect with financial markets.
See, they trying to, you know what I mean? Trying to cripple the economy. That's war, man.
Right. Khan.
You trying to hurt them.
Spanish.
Yeah, go ahead.
Khan. Among those punitive measures was blocking Russia's ability to draw from its foreign reserves to finance its invasion or prop up its flagging economy.
And they Ukraine, they got, I seen it on YouTube, they got them Russians, man, they over there, they robbing, they taking gas at the gas station, they doing it all over there. The Ukrainians tried to say the Russian soldiers only had like 3 days worth of food, so they ran out of fuel and food. That's why they over there looting and getting the gas, robbing the gas station and all that. They was making mockery out of them, cause they got a video where the soldiers trying to break into one of the stores, but they couldn't get in. But they got them on camera, and you know the Ukrainians laughing at them and making mockery out of them.
Right.
One of the Ukrainians said, "Yeah, we're gonna send you back." I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like, "We're gonna send you back. You going back to your mom in a plastic bag or something like that." So they over there, they getting it in, man. They in on that?
I can read one more paragraph if you want, sir.
Mm-hmm.
With Russia stepping up its military campaign in Ukraine, more lawmakers seem to be supportive of targeting oligarchs' wealth held in the U.S., sir.
And them billionaires, them billion dollar assets.
Right.
You know what I mean? They said they done removed like $39 billion already, and it's increasing.
Right.
They got all that money.
It's like if I could,
Go ahead.
when they're saying that they're putting sanctions on Russia and Putin, that's making a man angry. That's just poking the bear. So like you're saying, the United States thinking that we're not going to get into it. That's that subliminal mind thing saying we ain't getting into it, but we getting into it. Because you start cutting off a man where he lives, what are you going to do, stop the war?
What do America not get involved with?
Right.
America involved in every war, man. All the wars, man. They say America hasn't been in war, been free of war for what? About 17 years. Like since they started going to war, like over 200 plus years, they haven't never been to war. They probably didn't go to war for about 17 years total out of all them years. Like America been at war, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like they definitely gonna get involved with that. Go ahead. chapter what?
17.
Chapter 17, verse what?
13.
Give me Exodus 15 and 3, but give me Exodus 17, 13. You said 13 through 16?
It's 13 and 16.
Okay, give me Exodus chapter 17, verse 13.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 13. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword.
Hold on, that's it on that one?
Verse 16.
Hold on. You want to read it together or you want to separate, Gashan?
No, man, you can read them together.
Go ahead.
I'll just check on. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 13 and 16. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Verse 16. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Most High will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
And you said, what about that, Gashan?
You know how we been speaking, how we going in the truth speaking on what's going on with Russia, what's going on with Ukraine, and how America's trying to speak they 2 cents in it. You know, from generation to generation, even back to the falling of the Berlin Wall. You know, America always had to see their nose in Russia. They always had been going back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
But from generation to generation, the same thing still, coming to pass. How the Lord say He gonna use, how it's gonna be war. And He swore it's gonna be war whenever they, both they generate. They gonna fight each other. It's just us, just exercise for them.
Yeah, but God, and Amalek is specifically so-called Jewish man. You know what I mean? But yeah, everything they doing to us, the Lord gonna put the cup in their hand, man.
Right.
They gonna drink of that cup. I mean, slavery is coming to Esau. You know what I mean? Ukraine, Russia, Germans, all of them. Amalek, all of them.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And the Lord said from generation to generation. That's what they've been doing to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Esau got a perpetual hatred.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of killing and shedding blood. So what do you think the Lord is gonna do to them, man? And we the Lord's children, and we get treated like that.
That's right.
That's the Lord's punishment. The Lord turned his back on us. Well, we turned our back on the Lord, and the Lord just, you know what I mean, let us be amongst these heathens, put us in their hands. Look what happened.
All right.
We begin slaughtered. You know what I mean? Esau in our brain, and we not even, you know what I'm saying? We don't even live amongst Esau.
Right.
Right.
A lot of us don't, you know what I mean? And the spirit, white supremacy is in our minds. You know what I mean? Destroying us like a damn demon. Like I always say, like a black woman going to murder her child, murder her baby, that's the white man allowing her to do that.
Right.
That ain't the Lord, that ain't the spirit of the Most High.
Right.
The Most High want her to have that child. But America done beat us down so bad. You got the black man killing the black man, you got the black woman killing the black baby. You got the black man and the black woman at each other's neck every day, hating one another.
Right.
Same thing with us so-called Hispanic and Native American Indian people. Brothers on the reservations labeled as drunkards,
Right.
suicidal. It's hell, man. And Esau don't even got to be around us to destroy us. We doing it for him.
Wow.
I'm Tawal, the water. So yeah, that's a good one, Gashan. Akash.
It's heavy what you brought out before. When you saying that the Russians and you see the Ukrainians out there looting and things like
Yeah.
that, that's the picture they paint on us.
Right.
That's the picture they paint on us all the time. So now
Right.
it's funny how the Lord is flipping it,
Yeah.
showing them you're the animals, you're the looters, you're the daggone people that's most hated now.
And they done beat us down so bad where they say we in need of that food.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It be people who really hungry and they starving to death,
Right.
taking everything from us. So we be needing that food.
All right.
But you got people over there, you know, they doing the same thing. They saying they using the word like loot now because Putin bombing them. But if Putin wasn't bombing them, they'll be looking at it like something regular.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how Esau look at the white Americans over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? We do it, they say looting. They do it,
Survival.
Yeah, survival. They was hungry. You know what I mean? They didn't have nothing to eat. What else? What else could they do? Who was reading the song? Was it
You had Exodus 15:3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Give me that. And then give me our weapons of war. Warfare is not carnal.
Call. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
The Lord is a man of war, man. The Lord is playing chess right now.
Right.
I mean, the Lord's sitting out there, the puppet master, you know. You know what I mean? He orchestrating it very well.
Right.
I mean, like how it's written in the Bible, it's being carried out the same way. You know what I mean? The Lord is behind all this. Keep going.
The Lord is his name.
Read that verse again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
Yahweh, the Most High, the Lord is his name, man. He letting you know he about that war.
Right.
He about warfare, man. He about killing. The Lord killed the most. You know what I'm saying? Esau blessed with a sword, but who blessed Esau with a sword? The Most High.
Right.
The Most High is the real king of the sword. You know what I mean? He killed the most. He the reason why they about to, the one who he blessed with the sword about to be killing each other with the sword they blessed with. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 4.
Now give me weapons of warfare not carnal. You know, you gotta be careful what you say to blacks, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people. You know what I mean? You got people who gonna wanna. You got a lot of black people who look at Ukraine and Russia right now. They wanna do something about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of them wanna pray about it.
Right.
Because they know they can't do nothing. But you got some people who, I mean, believe it or not, wanna fight, wanna help them out, wanna give them food and all that. I mean, we shouldn't be in their business, man.
Right.
And you got black people over here who need the food and the money and everything they talking about giving to them, we need it, in need of it right now.
Right.
And they ain't even thinking about us. They ain't thinking about giving us a damn thing.
Right.
But they see something, they see on the news, people they never met, damn, they in need. But your brother right down the street is in need and you look at him like an op,
Right.
like a pack. You got it?
Call. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Weapons of our warfare is not carnal. You can, you know what I mean? You can, Christ said you can sell what you got and go get you a weapon, you know what I mean? Just for self-defense. But don't go out there and try to fight Esau with an army. You know what I mean? You're not gonna win that. Because we don't, listen, you see what Putin's shooting, right?
Right.
You don't got that. No black man got that. You don't got that. Your little 38, your little 9, man, you ain't gonna do it.
Draco.
I mean, you don't have to do it. Because we got the Lord.
Right.
I mean, you come into this truth, we got the Lord on our side. You ain't gotta shoot nothing. We ain't have to do nothing in Egypt.
Right.
You know what I mean? We cried out to the Lord. He heard our cry. He freed us. I mean, our weapons of warfare is not carnal. Go ahead. Who says Salaki? So y'all, Lord of Christ, what's going on?
Shalom, so if I may, you know, George about to pass a law that you no longer need a license to possess a concealed carry. So it don't make it easier for brothers, you know what I mean, in the school, you know, to do it. Like it, sir.
Hey, Most High in Christ. You know what I mean? Lord willing, brothers in the world don't use that to murder each other. You know what I mean? Be like the Wild Wild West.
Right.
Napash, go ahead.
But mighty, like the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds. Verse 5. Casting down imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing to the obedience of Christ.
Yeah, our job is to do what the Lord said do in a nutshell, man.
Right.
Like everything you imagine, all that non-binary trans stuff you be imagining, man, that's getting cast down, man. The Lord gonna make sure all that get cast down. Killing your brother, killing your baby, you know what I mean? Murder, disrespecting your elders, you know what I mean? The Lord all that's gonna be Watch the way, man. If you don't want to stop sinning and disobeying the Lord, guess what's going to happen? He's going to put you to death.
Right.
Man, you either going to change or the Lord's going to deal with you. That's it. Ain't no other option. You get down and lay down.
Get down and lay down.
Adar? I know you had your hand up.
Salakia, sir, in conjunction with 2 Corinthians 10:4, sir, would this be the appropriate time to bring out Isaiah 54 and 15 through 17?
Let me hear it.
Khan,
You talking about the weapons of,
no weapon formed against me? Would that be appropriate?
nah, I wouldn't use that.
Okay.
I wouldn't use that.
Okay.
How were you trying to break that down, though?
Well, because how they how it said like how they gather together, but not for my sake, but they will fall because they come against us, and also how he created the waste. He said like the scripture said like created the waster to destroy. So in essence, like what is happening is supposed to be happening in
You want to combine it with
with 2 Corinthians, the 10:4.
Read that one more time. This 2 Corinthians 10:4.
Call. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 4.
Chapter 10, verse 10.
I'm sorry, chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
And you said, what about the Isaiah 54?
Isaiah 54 and 16, at the bottom, how I created the waster to destroy, and seeing how like no weapon formed against thee shall prosper.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Let me see. Keep going to the Pash.
Call. But mighty throughout the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Verse 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that has exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing it into captivity, every thought to the obedience of Christ.
If y'all didn't hear the brother Isaiah, he said they about to pass a bill in Atlanta. You don't really got to have your license to carry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's
I was
like,
just letting y'all know this way you said. Go ahead.
like you said, the Lord straightens out all that. So all them brothers who've been doing time and who've been paying for 20 years ago can't get weapons, whatever, because they're using this stuff against them. The Lord lifting all that. Go get your weapons. So Most High Christ. Okay?
Most High Christ for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Most High Christ for us. But you know, like in the world, it's gonna be hell, man.
Right.
It's gonna be hell.
Right.
Cause you got you got mentally disturbed people.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got brothers who sleep with men, and you're gonna have people.
Right.
Homos, they're gonna be fighting each other. LGBT community, all this mental disorder going on in this earth. You think people just gonna get a gun and not you know what I mean? They ain't turning to the Lord, they sinners.
Right.
They gonna get a weapon and go look for an op. Go look for their enemies.
Right.
You know what I mean? They think they Ukraine and Russia on a smaller scale. Who y'all wrong?
It's like, sir, with that being said as well, it's pretty much gonna be open season for us too, cause all these devils gonna have them weapons too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And be
Esau,
able to
Esau, when we pass laws like that, Esau got all of them. Like I said, he blessed with the sword.
Right.
He's not worried about you trying to fight against him with no gun.
Right.
Esau ain't never worried about that, man. And you know why? He can pull them tanks in your neighborhood. He'll launch them missiles. He know you don't got that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Lord of Christ. Kasi, you said something?
I was just going to say, sir, that law hasn't been put into effect yet.
Mhm.
Also, understanding that it's not just for Georgia. They were implementing this back when Trump was president. And what he wanted to do was also give it to where everyone could cross state lines without a license as well. But there's going to be stipulations. We don't know those yet, but those stipulations will still end up
Excellent Christ towards us.
Yeah, you know the devil. He ain't gonna put it in a way where you can rule over him with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you can slaughter him. That ain't how Esau mind work. Esau like about the train situation. He made sure black people, even though they dropping bombs, you still don't want niggas to get on the train.
Right.
Now he's never gonna put you black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian people in a position where you able to take over and rule over white people. That ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? By the time he passed a law and allow you to have a gun, it's because he already got all the bombs and tanks and, you know what I mean, stockpiled already.
It's like ain't no bullets left.
Ain't no bullets left, right?
No bullets left.
You right about that. You right about that. You gonna get your 9 and your 4.5. You gonna go to the store and them bullets gonna be high as hell. Let me give 12. One box of 12. Like he ain't gonna have nothing, man. Because Negroes gonna run in them stores and get all the bullets. Esau make bullets.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that. But like I said, all we gotta do is turn to the Lord, man. I mean, no matter how many missiles they got. So in the midst of thermonuclear warfare, you got the ability where you ain't gotta be touched, you turn to the Lord. The Lord can make sure nothing touch you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead. Oh, you already had finished that. What I tell you to get?
No, we'll search back. I don't know.
Give me Lord Christ, put your phone on mute. Lord Christ, whoever on the conference call, put your phone on mute. Give me Matthew 5 and 14. Matter of fact, hold that. Give me Matthew 24 and 12.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
And because iniquity shall abound, what are they talking about? What is iniquity?
It's like it's just saying because of the sins that's going to be happening, the love that we should have for our brother is going to wax cold. We're going to start doing all kind of things to each other.
Yeah, exactly what it's talking about. You know what I mean? It's getting there. You know, it's going to be wild, man. Not with us, of course.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know y'all looking like, oh shit. Not with us, but you know, brothers and sisters in the world. You know what I mean? We already killing each other as it is, but listen, it get worse.
Worse.
It get worse. Read that one more time.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound.
So it should abound. What do abound mean? Look it up.
I said abound should mean to flourish and to like spread.
Look it up to make
be
sure.
constant.
Make sure. Go ahead.
Does it mean to
You looked it up?
exist in large
Okay.
exist in large numbers or amount?
Mm-hmm. To exist in large number of amounts. Read that again, Napash.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound.
Basically, because iniquity shall increase, multiply. Go ahead.
The love of many shall wax cold.
The love of many shall wax cold. You're gonna see people. It's gonna be filled with hate, man. Hate. You know what I mean? Everybody killing each other. You know what I mean? You have to watch everything. I take it. That's what I've been waiting on, man. The water. Over here with the water.
So basically that means, like I said, they're basically saying, like, you know, in the world, like, especially like these times, you know what I'm saying? I seen even Judge Muhammad, he posted something like with gas, like $4.17 up in the area where he at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means like Israel is really going to be cutthroat to each other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if they don't come in here,
Right.
you know what I mean? Yeah. The whole world, man.
Right.
The love of the world is gonna wax cold. You know what I mean? The food gonna be too high. You're gonna have food shortages, famine, pestilence, like Christ said. But listen, the end's still not here yet.
Right.
But that must happen.
Right.
Abaria, hold on, Abaria. Who says Slacky on the conference call? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Isaiah 47 and verse 1, talking about how Babylon fallen, and not just America, but all of Esau itself. Isaiah chapter
47. That goes back to when Christ said, them buildings, them stones gonna be thrown down. Okay? And then when the disciples was showing him the buildings, he said there ain't gonna be one stone left upon another. I mean, you can add that to that too. Isaiah 47 and 1. Baria?
Oh, come on. I want to go back to what you said about the food shortages. Now, I go to the liquor store sometimes too, and, you know, it's been months and months, they've been out of certain liquor. So the liquor store is looking like Walmart's now.
Oh yeah, I hope I go to Walmart. I be saying, it be looking, you know, it's getting scarce.
Right.
It's getting scarce at times, you know. A lot of times. You know what I mean? But it's gonna get there. That's why in these times, brotherhood, you know what I mean, all we got is each other.
Right.
All we got is each other. Food in there, that's for us. You know what I mean? They want to eat some of the food, they need to come here and show some of that brotherhood in this. You know what I mean? Okay. But yeah, Yahweh died, that's a precept. That's a good one. Posh, you got your hand up? Give me Revelations. No, somebody was holding Matthew, right? Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 24.
No, 14. You got 5 and 14.
Book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world.
Ye are the light of the world, Israel. Blacks, put in Native American Indian people. Go ahead.
A city that is set on a hill.
A city that is set on a hill. Go ahead.
Cannot be hid.
Cannot be hid. That's us, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why wars going on? Why all this? The rumors of wars and pestilence and famine and diseases and all that, earthquakes in diverse places. We gotta shine. You know what I mean? We gotta shine like Lucifer. The world gonna be forced to. The Lord gonna put you in a position. The world gonna be forced to look up to us as the government body, rulers of the earth.
Right.
That's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Everybody talking about, yeah, man, the Chinese people, the Asian, man, they the next ones in power. That ain't what the scriptures say.
Right.
Scriptures say Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is he that coming after. I don't see Ammon and Moab in that. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the New World Order. The New World Order is going to be under Yahweh Shah. You know what I mean? That's going to be the New World Order.
Right.
You go, give me Revelations, give me the let me get 2 Timothy 2 and 5.
Come on, this is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries.
If a man also strive for what?
Masteries.
What does that mean? What does mastery mean?
Master's craft.
Yeah, look at the definition, but you want it though.
Yeah, perfection.
What is that? Read that line, that first line again, the push.
Come. The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 5.
Read the whole verse.
Come. If a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
Mm-hmm. You got the definition? Either one of them out.
Come, it says the authority of a master, dominion, upper hand.
No, I don't think that. No, that's not it. Wait, what you type in?
Masteries, definition, mastery.
Let me hear what you got.
Khan, sir. The definition of masteries, the act of mastering, superiority or victory, expert skill or knowledge.
Expert skill or knowledge.
The state of being master, power of command or control.
Read that verse again, Nafash.
Come. And if a man also strive for masteries,
Man also strive for mastery. Go ahead.
yet he is not crowned,
Yet he is not crowned. Go ahead.
except he strive lawfully.
Said he strive lawfully. Somebody break that down. What's that talking about?
It's like it's there.
Michael Locke.
Basically, it's saying like, and if a man strive, and if a man also strive for mastery, like, if you gonna, you know what I'm saying, go after like, you know what I mean, like power, you know what I'm saying, like control and just like, you know what I mean, to be like, you know what I mean, that you gonna seek out the rulership, you know what I'm saying. You ain't gonna be crowned just because you seeking it, like, you know how these fake Israelites do, they seek it. But you know what I'm saying, unless you do it lawfully. You know what I'm saying? If you're in ISUPK and you seeking righteousness, you seeking power, you seeking authority in UPK, you know what I mean, you're doing it lawfully. But if you ain't doing it lawfully, then it really don't mean nothing.
You want it. Look what Akai said too, what you say, perfection?
Perfection.
Yeah, they strive to be perfect. You ain't gonna be crowned unless you do it lawfully.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta follow what's in this book, the law, statute, and commandments. You know what I mean? If you don't do that, what ain't gonna be with you?
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta master it. You ain't trying to master what this truth of these scriptures. You ain't built for the job.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why Christ was cutting everybody. You know what I mean? That's why he knew all the prophecies, all the scriptures, because he tried to be perfect. He said, matter of fact, give me Matthew 5:48. He did it lawfully. You know what I mean? You right about that, you know, fake Israelites and all that. You know what I mean? They ain't doing it lawfully.
Come.
5:48, man.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Now, even though war's going on, you gotta be, you know what I mean, fighting to be perfect. I mean, looking at the Third World War, you can't be slacking.
Right.
I mean, you can't look at, the Lord making this happen, but we just gotta, now you go back to sin, now you go back to smoking, you know what I mean? Now you go back to, messing with whores, shaving your beard because the job offer you a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. Go ahead, Nafash.
Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Yeah, because the Most High is perfect. You gotta be perfect. You know what I mean? You gotta follow these laws. That's our job. I mean, we shouldn't be looking at Ukraine and praying for them and, you know what I mean, talking about we wish we can go to war and help them out because it's bad what Russia doing. That ain't our business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your business, our business is our Father's business, like Christ said. Give me that scripture.
It's like, so you're talking about when it says, My father's, I'm dealing with my
Con,
father's business.
con, that one.
About my father's business. Matthew, Luke 2:49.
Slide, sir. Is it Luke 2:49?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 49. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Was it not that I must be about my father's business?
Right, and now this, matter of fact, go up a couple of verses.
Come, sir.
Go up a couple of verses.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 40. Want to go to 47, sir?
Let me hear it.
Come. This is the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 47. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers.
Go ahead.
Come, verse 48. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
All right, so Christ, I told you when Christ was young, he was out, he was amongst the doctors, the lawyers, amongst the people, teaching them. You know what I mean? They was amazed how skilled he was with them scriptures.
Right.
How much he knew. You know what I mean? And he said, what, read it again?
Come.
And on Mary and Joseph, his father,
Right.
they went looking for him. Go ahead.
Come, verse 48. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us?
He's like, why you dealt with us like this? Like, you know what I mean? We've been looking for you, couldn't find you. Why you doing this to us, man? Go ahead.
Come. Behold, thy father and I have sought thee, sorrowing.
Yeah, Mary and Joseph, your father and I has been looking for you. That's what it means, sought thee. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 49. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not know that I must be about my father's business?
Right. So how you sought me, but you know I got to be about my father's business. Putting in that work. You know what I mean? That's what he told his father and his mother.
Right.
He told his father, I got to be about my father's business, let you know what. He talking about the Most High's business.
Right.
Because Christ, unlike the Christian church, Christ knew who his father was. It was Joseph.
Right.
He talking about the heavenly father.
Right.
Y'all wrong?
So like you said, we had a question that was posed online by a brother named Zakar. I don't know if you're taking questions right now.
Go ahead.
Come, sir. He's asking about the book of Luke, chapter 23 and 39.
Somebody pull
It
that.
says, Shalom, Adawan, Salakia, sir. But what did the malefactor in Luke 23 and 39 through 43 did?
What he did?
Come, sir. What work to earn his spot in paradise with Yahushua?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Somebody pull that.
It was
Come on.
Luke 23, 39 through 43.
Right, come. This is the book of Luke, chapter 23, verse 39. And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him.
What is the malefactor? Who know what that is?
Like, sir. Is that basically just a man?
Nah.
A malefactor?
I got it right here, but I'm trying to.
Oh, it's like, I got a definition.
Go ahead.
A malefactor, a person who commits a crime or some other wrong.
A criminal.
Come.
So read that again, Napash.
Come, it's the book of Luke, chapter 23, verse 39. And one of the malefactors which was hanged railed on him, saying, If thou be Christ, save thyself and us.
Yeah, he said he's talking to Yahweh. If you be the Christ, you know what I mean, you the anointed, save yourself and us. Go ahead.
Verse 40.
He said go to verse all the way up to 43, right?
43, come, sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 40. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Thou dost not fear the Most High, seeing thou art in the same condemnation. So Verse 41.
Read that verse again.
But the other answering rebuked him,
Meaning the other man that was on the other side of Christ. Go ahead.
saying, Dost not fear the Most High, seeing thou art in the same condemnation.
Right. He said, well, you don't fear the Most High, seeing you in the same, you get condemned the same way. Go ahead.
Verse 41. And we indeed justified. And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man have done nothing amiss.
He's saying what we did, we committed, we criminals.
Right.
So it's just for us to be out here. But what Christ did, read that part again.
Come. And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds.
We received the due reward of our deeds. We criminals, so us being punished like this is our reward. Go ahead.
But this man have done nothing amiss.
But Christ ain't did nothing bad. What verse is that?
That's Luke 23 and 41.
Keep going.
Verse 42. And he said unto Yahushua, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom.
Right. He told Christ, remember me when you come into the kingdom. Go ahead.
Verse 43. And Yahushua said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise.
He said, today should thou be with me. He said, verily today should thou be with me in paradise. Now what was the brother question on the online? Specifically?
Like, sir, he said, but what did the malefactor in Luke 23:39-43 do? What work to earn his spot in paradise with Yahushua?
Oh, what did the brother do to earn his spot?
Come, sir.
Read verse. Look, everybody raise their hand. Read verse 40. Read verse 43.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 23, verse 43. And Yahushua said unto him,
Verse 42. Verse 42.
Verse 42. And he said unto Yahushua, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. Verse 43.
Read verse 42 again.
Come. And he said unto Yahushua, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom.
That's what he did. That's what he did. What you about to say, Marco?
I was going to slide. I was going to say, it's 41. You know what I mean? Pretty much stated.
Let me hear it. Read 41.
Luke chapter 23, verse 41. And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man have done nothing amiss.
Oh, the reason why I brought that out is because, like, basically they saying, like, yeah, we did something wrong, you know what I'm saying? But Christ ain't did nothing, you know what I'm saying? We you know what I mean? Like, he was known, he knew that Christ was innocent. He knew Christ was righteous.
But though, the brother who told Christ to remember him, Christ specifically talking to him. So he wasn't even talking to both. Go ahead.
Is Romans 9:16 could be a pretty simple answer to this?
But the answer is right there. Give me verse 42 again. That's the answer right there.
Come.
Give me read 42 and 43.
Come. Verse 42. And he said unto Yahushua, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom.
That's what he told him. Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. What Christ's response was in verse 43.
Verse 43. And Yahushua said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise.
That's he asked them. Christ did it. That's it.
Right.
He didn't do nothing special. Christ knew he wasn't criminal.
Damn right.
That's it.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? That's it. He didn't do nothing special. He's a criminal. But he asked Christ to remember him when he come back. Remember him when he come back in paradise. And Christ said, "Yeah."
Come.
You gotta understand, like Christ went around doing what? Healing people.
Come.
You know what I mean? That's all it took. He ain't had to. It wasn't nothing magical.
Right.
He asked Christ and he received.
Right.
You gotta understand when I forgot the scripture, but I'm paraphrasing. I think a mother wanted, when Christ returned, a mother wanted her son to be on the right hand, or something like that. Somebody pull that up for me. A mother brought her son to Christ and asked if he could sit on, let me say, on the right hand. Let me see, I gotta look that up. But Hadar, what was your question?
Well, Salaki, sir, isn't I realize you said he didn't do anything special.
Yeah,
But did he at least like did he at least like show repentance and admit his wrong?
Christ already know his wrong. Christ already know that. He just asked Christ, you know what I mean?
Right.
Asked and he received it. Christ went around, he knew Israel was filthy and disgusting. He knew they both was criminals, but the one who asked them to remember him, Christ said, verily, he gonna do it.
Right.
It's like, sir, that's like, just like, you know what I'm saying, that goes into like, you know what I mean, the most out, I mean, not the most out, this goes into like Yahweh showing brotherhood though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Definitely. What you think he would have did if the other brother would ask? He would have did the same
Show
thing.
brotherhood.
Right.
He did the same thing. You got it, Akash?
Call this book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 21. And he said unto her, what will do? She said unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other one on the left in thy kingdom.
So the woman came up to Christ. Do we got when she came up to Christ and when she asked him? A couple of verses up. What verse you started at? See if it's like 19 or 20, something like that.
When she asked,
Yeah. Ask, when start what she asked.
Okay. Book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 20. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him.
So a mother came with her two sons. Go ahead.
And desire a certain thing of him.
And desire a certain thing of him. Like the other brother desired a certain thing from Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And he said unto her, what will I do? She said unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on the right hand and the other one on the left.
Right, so
in thy kingdom.
She wanted two sons, one to be on the right of Christ, one to be on the left. Go ahead.
In thy kingdom.
In the kingdom. Go ahead.
Verse 22. But Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what ye ask.
You know not what you ask. Go ahead.
Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of?
Are you able to drink of the cup that I should drink of? Who know what that cup is?
Like it, sir.
Y'all wrong?
Is it the truth that we in right now, sir?
It's the suffering that he had to go through.
Okay.
Are you able to drink of the same cup that you see what Christ went through? Are you able to drink of the same cup I'm drinking? I'm able to drink of? Go ahead.
Right.
And to be baptized with baptism.
And to be baptized with baptism? Go ahead.
That I am baptized with. They say unto him, we are able.
They said what? They said what?
Oh, slow. They say, okay, slow.
Read that part again, what you just read.
Oh, come. They say unto him, we are able.
They said what?
We are able.
We are able. Christ said, you able to drink of the same cup I'm able to drink of and be baptized with the same baptism I'm baptized with? They said what? We are able. Keep reading.
Verse 23. And he said unto him, ye shall drink a deed of my cup.
He said what?
Ye shall drink a deed of my cup.
Go ahead.
And to be baptized, with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left. It's not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father.
Right, so he letting them know, like, listen, to sit on my right and my left, that ain't mine to give. But he said you gonna drink of that cup because you said you was able. You know what I mean? So be careful what you ask for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, Christ was bold, man. They asked, they received. He's like, you gonna drink of the cup then. You can be baptized with them, baptized with it. You gonna do that because you said you were able.
Right.
You know what I mean? So certain things they asked, they got. You know what I mean? But for him to decide who sits on the right or the left, that's for the people who the Lord choose, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, Cassiai.
Just going back on what you're saying here, it's so heavy because, I've heard Christians do this, and I've done this myself before I didn't know anything, where I'm saying, as a Christian, I'll take it all, give it to me. I can handle it, and I got my ass handed to me.
Right.
And from that point, I knew, not to say that again, I wasn't even in the truth yet, but I knew what I'd asked for, and I had all kind of elbows dropped on it. So you definitely have to be careful with what you say. You can't do that because you'll get it.
Yeah. And Christ was there to give it to him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was the one. He was going around healing, raising the dead, healing the sick, you know what I mean? Giving sight to the blind. Right. He was doing all that on earth. So you want to drink of this cup? You want to do it? Indeed, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You know what I mean? It lets you know Christ was able to do certain things, you know what I mean? So when the male fella asked, remember me? Like, yeah, you're gonna be with me. I mean, it'd be simple as that. I know you gotta take the Christianity out of your mind, you know what I mean? A lot of times you be like, what did he do specifically? What did he do that was so special? Nothing. He was a sinner like the other man was. He opened his mouth and asked.
Right.
And he received it. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's all it takes. Which one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I had a statement. You can tell this book right here of black people, black Hispanic people. He said, you want this cup, or did I drink of? Like, say, you want some of this smoke? You know what I'm saying? You just stay in your own lane, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get in my lane. Cause did you gonna get? We step in my lane. I'm like, okay. You gotta take the Christianity out of it, you know what I'm saying? If you know this book right here, so-called Blacks and Hispanics, and you actually read the words or the way we talk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's right here.
You want, because this is my cup, this is my drink in my cup. You want to drink what I'm drinking? You know what this is going to do to me? It's going to do the same thing to you.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That way let you know what I'm drinking, you want to drink. We do the same thing. We have the same feelings, same problems, all that. We're going to suffer the same, whatever.
You ain't put in on this, man.
Yeah.
Y'all wrong?
Salaki, the brother has another question, sir.
Okay.
He's actually a Trooper Yakazak Allah. He says, Salakia, sir, but he wants to know, what covenant are we in?
Pull that scripture. You know what covenant we not, what covenant we not in.
Right.
So give me Jeremiah. Y'all know what I want. You said Trooper Yakazak Allah?
Come on, sir.
That officer.
Is that always officer?
Nah,
Oh, yeah, you talking about somebody else?
Come on,
Okay,
sir.
okay. I'm about to say Yakazak Allah is an officer now.
Come on, I guess. Come on, sir.
Jeremiah 31. Was it 33? 31, 31.
Yeah, okay.
Jeremiah 31.
You got it?
That's, sorry, is it 33? Oh, 31. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
So the day gonna come, they're gonna make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That's the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Right. Not the covenant I made with their fathers that we broke. Go ahead.
Which my covenant they break.
Right. That's how you know we in the new covenant.
Right.
Because how you know we in the new covenant? Just gave you the answer. How you know? Abaria.
Because he said it's not with the covenant he made with our fathers, but he was
Because we broke it. We broke the old.
Come.
That's why you're making a new one, because we broke the old. So that's how you know we in the new one. Keep going.
Although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. Verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts.
And how did that happen? put the law in our inward parts and wrote it in our heart. How did that happen?
Slovakia, sir.
Y'all wrong.
The school of Isupk and the Commander General Yohana, sir. Going to
Right,
class.
which is what? We doing the spirit of Christ. Christ did it. We carrying on what Christ passed down to us to carry on. You know what I mean? But you're right. The men in the Isupk what we doing, but Christ did that. You know what I mean? Christ went and taught us how to keep these laws. You know what I mean? Like I said, he increased the law.
Come.
Man, you see a woman, your eyes shouldn't even be lusting. She got, you know what I mean? She got a man.
Right.
He made it harder for you to break it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that answered the brother question.
Come, sir. I'm sure it did, sir.
Okay. Right hand. Kasia.
Come on, sir. Going back to that cup. When you're looking at Matthew 26 and 39, if I may, when it says here, and when he went a little farther, and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will."
Read that. Stand up. Read that. Put it. Use the microphone for that. Read that.
Come on, sir.
Yeah, that's definitely. You know what I mean? Precept to that.
Come on. From the book of Matthew. Everyone has a verse? Excellent. The book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 39 says, "And he went a little farther, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me."
Let this cup what?
Pass from me.
Like Christ, like if it be possible, I don't even want to do this. If
Come
it be possible, go ahead.
on. Nevertheless, not as I will.
Nevertheless, go ahead.
Not as I will, but as thou wilt.
Read that one more time. Nevertheless.
Nevertheless, not as I will.
Not as I will. Go ahead.
But as thou wilt.
As thou wilt.
Go
ahead.
And I was just looking at that, sir, as when the men said, yeah, I'll take this cup. They didn't even know that Yahweh was like, if you could pass this from me, I don't even want it.
And be careful what you ask for.
Right.
Because their mom came up there with both of them, like, she was so adamant, putting them on the left and right side, so it's like, hey, this what you want? What you gonna get?
Right. I still want to bring this out for the brother that was asking about the man on the male factor. See if I can use as a precept in Romans 9:16.
Let me hear it.
It says, "So then it is not of him that willeth." Oh, slightly. Romans 9:16. "So then it is not of him that willeth, nor him that runneth, but the Most High that showeth mercy."
You want to use that to what now?
The precept as far as him asking, what did he do? What work did he do to be in paradise with Christ?
Yeah. It wasn't the brother. The brother just willing to ask.
Right.
You know what I mean? He couldn't change nothing, but he opened his mouth. That's what you got to do. Yeah, nobody gonna know what you're thinking. Oh man, he wanted to be with Christ. He opened his mouth and asked, and he got it.
Mercy.
Next.
That was it for online, sir.
Okay.
Well, then, Salakia, if I could, just to piggyback with Officer Kaz, then we also use John 16 and 23.
Let me hear that. For what? For the cup thing?
Law, sir, Salakia, sir. In conjunction with what the brother did,
Okay.
asking of Christ.
Okay.
If I could, sir, the book of John, chapter 16, verse 23. And this is Christ speaking, "And in that day ye shall ask me nothing. Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye ask the Father in my name, he will give it you."
Well, the brother, I think that's when Christ, you gotta read above that. I believe that when Christ about to leave and letting the disciples know? You gotta give me more.
He was about to, yes, correct. I believe he was about to leave, sir.
And he talked to the disciples. And read that again.
And in that day ye shall ask me nothing. Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatever ye shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it you.
And you want want to link that with the, repeat what you want to link that with?
Will we use that also with him just asking of Christ?
Oh, you talking about the male factor?
Come.
I'm saying, how will you link that though? Like, the male factor, Christ already gave him the answer, so.
Okay, come.
Yeah, Christ already answered that. But that's more like what the disciples, when they start putting in the work after Christ is not around them no more, and they ask for something, make sure they ask it in the name of Christ. You know what I mean? So,
Come.
go ahead, Kasiha.
Come on, sir. And you know, if I may, one of the things that we have to understand, only the men in the ISUBK can ask of that cup. No one outside of that can do that. So I would like to see if we can use 1 Peter 4:1 as a precept with what we're talking about.
Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Book of 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 1. For as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he hath suffered in the flesh, hath ceased from sin.
That's mainly like, that's more of like, that ain't really dealing like with, that's dealing with the suffering, drinking of the cup, Christ himself. But if you talking about us suffering like Christ, as far as coming into the truth and, fighting the flesh and things like that, then yeah, there'll be more on it. But if you're trying to link it up to us suffering like, when I say Christ suffered, I'm talking about like how Christ was beat, put on the cross. Like we're not getting beat like that. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, sir. I was just basically looking at it is when the scripture says, if they hate you, know that they hated me first. Now that's not in the same suffering, but saying when people saying I'll go through it, looking at these examples that were given, saying if you'll be hated for my name's sake, or if they hate you, know that they hated me first.
Yeah, that's on it, cause that's part of suffering too. Like they don't just hate you and not bother you. You know what I mean?
Right.
They hate you and they do something about it. Like they cut you off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And come on, if I may. That's the same thing that I'll try to show to my mother. My father, he sort of getting it. But I try to explain to them that Christian pastors aren't hated. They haven't suffered from anything. How are you suffering and you're rich? You're rich. There's no suffering there. So explain that we're hated. People say, I'm going to kill you. When they tell us that on the streets and telling us that they can't stand us. That's not happening to Christians. Right. Christians are saying things that are soft to the ears, that are easy to the ears. But what we're saying is the same thing that Christ said. So when we say what Christ said,
I mean, when you say Christians, though, you gotta, cause you got black people who are Christians, they go to church and they do suffer. You know what I mean? All Christians are not rich.
I mean,
if you talking about Christian pastors taking all their money, then they suffering.
You know
what I mean? Cause we used to be Christians. We were suffering.
But are they willing to go through it? Slovakia.
You talking about the Christians? Christians don't know the Bible at all, so they don't know what the hell they talking about. But they definitely not willing to go through what Christ went through.
Right. We understand our suffering. We understand our suffering, and for us, it's glorious because we understand why.
Right.
The Christians, they don't understand their suffering, so therefore, they think that the Lord has forsaken them. So.
Yeah, give me a scripture on that then, what you just broke down. That's why you gotta be careful, because even like rich people suffer too. But they ain't doing what Christ did. But if you talking about Christ suffering, going through what Christ suffers, no, they're not doing that. That's why you gotta be careful, like be specific about suffering, what suffering you talking about. Because a person will tell you they suffering, and they ain't doing the work of the Lord, you know what I mean? But they getting molested, you know what I'm saying? They getting robbed.
And if I may, I guess I'm looking at it in the sense of the Christians, they will eventually believe that they have been forsaken because of what they've gone through. So they'll believe that. We know that we haven't been forsaken. Right. So that's why they'll turn away from the Most High. Because they believe they have been forsaken, but he said, I'll never leave nor forsake you. I guess that's what I'm looking at.
Con.
Meaning we're gonna go through what we go through, and we'll understand that the scripture tells us that when you go through various trials and tribulations, to consider it all joy. They don't. Although it's a scripture and it's a Christian, they don't consider it all joy. We do. So therefore, we look crazy to them.
Give me a Baruch 4:1. Is it Muggleot?
Hey, it's like though, sir. Like even with that suffering though, right? That's like the selfish suffering though, right? And they coming from like, you know what I'm saying? Like you understand your suffering because it's on the fact that you ain't doing nothing like for your people. You ain't, you know what I mean? You ain't, you know what I'm saying? Making
Yeah, they're not suffering for the nation.
For your family.
Yeah, they're not suffering for the nation.
You only suffering because of your own stuff.
They're not gonna suffer for the nation because they're not believing. They're not doing what Christ doing. Christ sacrificed his life for his people. They not doing that. Oh, man. They suffering because they can't pay their bills on time. That ain't suffering.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like I do have a precept I want to break down, scripture I want to break down, but we'll do that class.
Come on. I have a Baruch 4 one second.
Go ahead.
Come on down to the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
No, give me the be prepared for temptation.
Oh, come on, God.
God, you see you had something?
Come. It's nothing on what we're talking about today.
Okay.
Which is the scripture I heard yesterday and I wanted to bring it up.
Go ahead.
Understand it. You want to go with it now or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come. It was Matthew 24. And the question I had with it because it was talking about the flood. And I went and read it. Matthew 24, thought in 37. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. 38. For as the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Verse 40. Then shall two be in the field, one shall be taken, the other left. My question is, in the days of Noah, wasn't the flood took them, was what killed them? Or unless I got it off. Unless I don't understand it.
I mean, when the flood came, it killed them. But he let you know, like before the flood killed them, they were just happy getting married and like nothing is going on, like regular life, like a regular day. Like they not really concerned with what the hell Noah talking about. Noah out there telling them, listen, the flood gonna come. Like how we out there prophesying, letting them know third world war is coming.
Right.
Kingdom of heaven coming. Y'all gotta turn away from these heathen holidays. Y'all gotta turn back to the Lord, follow statute and commandments. And they like, y'all racist, y'all evil. It ain't nothing like, you know what I mean? You like that back then. They wasn't taking it serious.
Well, so like if I could, I'm trying to get understanding because, like when the flood came and took those people away, that means the flood killed.
Read it again. Start from where you had.
It says, but as the days of Noah.
But like in the days of Noah.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. 38. For as the days that were before the flood.
Days before the flood.
They were eating and drinking.
They was eating and drinking.
Marrying and giving in marriage.
Marrying and giving in marriage.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Until the day he entered the ark, that's when the flood happened.
Right. 39. And knew not until the flood came.
So what part?
I guess what I'm getting at is that what I'm trying to figure out is like it said it knew until the day the flood came and took them all away. So when the flood came and took them, the flood killed them. So and then you drop down verse 40, it said, then two shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, other one left.
That's something different.
That's something different. Okay.
That's something different. Oh, you trying to combine that?
I was getting it combined.
No.
Okay, that's not correct. Okay.
Nah. It wasn't no two left in the field when the Lord put the flood on earth.
Okay, it's all.
How you know? How you know? Because the Lord, it was only Noah, his sons, they wives and certain animals. Like it tell you that in Genesis.
Okay.
There wasn't no one left. Let's go into something else with that.
Okay, most of correct. Okay.
Kasia.
Come on, God. And if I may add to what Officer Akaza is speaking on, that was my first understanding before coming into the truth. Because what they're saying is that two in the field and, one taken. That's the chariots taking that one. So a lot of people, I think the fake Israelites a lot of time.
I mean, it's comparing. I see what you're saying. It's comparing
Right.
back then what happened with the flood and Noah's situation to the Son of Man when Christ returned. So that's when Christ returned. That's when it's talking about the two in the field. It's comparing the flood to when Christ returned.
Right.
You know what I'm
So the
saying?
flood, but when the flood took the people away, it killed them.
Mm-hmm.
So if they compare it now,
It's talking about how the people was. You know what I mean? Before the flood.
Right.
How the people are before Christ returned.
He was taken.
You know what I mean?
So
It's gonna be.
it's like if I could. So before the flood came, during the time it was given the marriage, was God taking them and killing them or saving some or?
But the people, basically, the people ain't really taking it serious.
Right.
When you know what I'm saying? What we saying right now, a lot of people, we don't. I ain't gonna say we want them to die, but a lot of people, you know what I mean? They gonna perish because out of their ignorance, they don't want to listen. The Lord gonna deal with them. That's how it was back then. Before the flood came, people was doing the same thing. So before Christ returned, you're gonna see people doing the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm confused with the taking part. And then one in the field was gone, just like the days of
Did
Noah,
all people?
flood
Did the
taken.
Lord kill all the people?
In the flood?
Yeah.
Come.
No.
That's what I'm confused about.
Because Noah, them didn't die.
No.
See what I'm saying? That's Noah, them part of the people. He didn't kill everybody.
Come. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Then you got it?
Got it. Okay.
Like, he ain't gonna kill it. Everybody ain't gonna die this time around.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Come. I got it
It just at that time, that's who the Lord chose to live.
Okay.
This time around is different. You know what I mean? As far as like, if you talking about like the amount of people.
Right. No, I got it now. He took Noah and his people.
Right.
And some people perished.
Yeah, he started
Just like the time.
the whole population. He did it all.
Okay, I got it now.
That's how angry he was back then.
Got it.
Go ahead.
Kind of concept to add to what you're saying, and I think what people get confused a lot of time is when it says, just as in the days of Noah.
Mm-hmm.
So once they stop right there, they think anything after that is exactly what was happening. So those that were taken were those that were taken in the flood who died. But also, if you want to look at it, you can look at it as those who were taken, which was Noah and his family.
Right.
So that's how you have to understand it.
Which who the Lord chose to be saved.
Right.
Come on.
Got it now.
You know what I mean? So the Lord chooses you to be saved, then you're gonna be saved. And this time around, you know, we doing the work. He really had to do it like that. Christ wasn't, you know what I mean? Christ in the New Testament, he got with the disciples and, you know what I mean, made us fishers of men. He really had to be fishers of men back in that time. And it's a new covenant too. That's part of the new covenant too. All right, we about ready. What time is it?
Salakia, sir, if I may. Do you still want to brother read Ecclesiastes 2:1?
Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead.
Come.
This will be the last one.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare your soul for temptation. Don't be like the Christians, man. You go to church, you think that the Lord owe you something. You going to church and think the Lord supposed to just make you rich and famous.
Right.
That ain't what the Lord is about, man. Like, you supposed to glorify the Lord. The Lord gonna make sure you tawad after you glorify Him.
Right.
The scriptures say what? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things be added on to you. You know what I mean? You gotta do what the Lord say, and you're gonna be tempted because the Lord trying to find out is you worthy or not. You know what I mean? You gotta do that. You saying you're a soldier, but you out there smoking weed.
Right.
You're a soldier that smoke weed. You're not worthy. You know what I mean? You out here sinning. The Lord said, don't commit sin. Don't break these laws.
Right.
You lusting another man's woman. You're not worthy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You fornicating. You're not worthy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You paying for your woman to go get an abortion. You're not worthy.
Right.
Right.
The Lord trying to find soldiers, man.
Right.
And you know, to what the scripture say in Ezekiel? They stood up an exceeding great army. The Lord trying to get it. He trying to build a great army, man. You say you're a soldier, you gotta be perfect. Fight to be perfect. You know what I mean? Then go back to the scripture, strive lawfully. You know what I mean? So you do that, the Lord gonna be with you.
Right.
Okay? You're gonna have your brotherhood, your sisterhood, you're gonna have your army and protection. He's gonna be with you. If not, then you're gonna get caught up. The flood coming. The flood coming. You gotta prepare yourself for temptation. You're gonna be tempted. You know what I mean? You're gonna be tried. You're gonna be tested. You know what I mean? You lose your slavery. You know, man, a lot of people get tested when they lose their slavery. It's like, damn, is the truth really for me? You know what I mean? Struggling to pay your bills. A lot of people want to turn on the Lord when it's time to pay bills, man.
Right.
Don't do that. That's what the brotherhood is for, man.
That's right.
I mean, get some counseling. You got a whole, this is a government body, man.
Right.
You don't run back into the world and deal with Esau government when you got a government right here under the Lord.
Right.
Come on now. Barry?
Yeah, I was gonna take it back to what Commander Gianna said in the radio show. You think you can form your own life? That ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
I told Carol Isaiah, if I burp, I'm gonna call you to let it go.
Both sides Christ. Akasiya.
Come on, Khan, sir. I would like to get a breakdown on.
This is the last scripture right here. This is the last one.
Matthew 24 and 24.
Matthew 24 and 24.
I believe it pertains to some of what we're discussing. But it says here, for there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. If I may, Adawan, what is saying they should deceive the very, what are they meaning when they say this?
Talking about you being tricked and believing in false prophets.
So are they speaking to the ISUPK, obviously, when they say this?
I mean, yeah, you can look at it like that, yeah. Yeah, you can be tricked. You know what I mean? A great man has failed.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can be tricked.
And this is, if I may, Adawan, this is something that's humbling, because it's saying they shall deceive the very elect, which means it goes back to what Commander Junior Yohanan said, that make sure that our obedience to the Most High is at the utmost.
Right.
The utmost, because if it's not, you will be deceived.
Yeah, and the
It's
Lord.
a powerful thing to think
Yeah.
that if you don't do this, that you can be tricked. You will be tricked if you don't keep it 100 at all times.
Yeah. Michael Lott.
Hey, so that goes back into, you know, about the, if I'm not mistaken, you know what I mean, I heard Commander General Hunter bring it out a couple times about the 2,000 prophecy, you know what I'm saying, where brothers, you know what I mean, they separated because, you know what I'm saying, it didn't go down how they thought it was going to go down, so they started listening to, you know what I mean, weaker brothers and stuff like that.
Right, you're right. There's a correlation to that. And with that, conclude the class. Pass over to the priest and the officer. Y'all wrong.
ISUPK security announcements. Where the ISUPK started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashera, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we all know we got the Passover.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Commanding General Yohana under Most High in Christ has done it again. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be down in Cocoa Beach, Florida. The Passover is going to be held April 15th. And it's going to be a glorious event again. You know what I'm saying? If you need transportation or lodging for the Passover, please get with your camp leader and we'll be able to get you down there. All right? Come, sir. The water. And also, Passover fees is $200 per person. All right? Get your fees if you can get them in now. All right? This is a huge event.
For those that were with us in Houston, you know how we get down. In past times, Houston was a big event. They expect this to be a lot bigger. All right, so this is going to be glorious. Make sure you got your garments, and let's do how Israel get down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, and let's see. And if any brother wants to be a trooper for the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf. And also, with on your way down here, if you will, Baba Kashah said I did it today myself. Is use the GPS, use your Waze, your Google, whatever you have to get down here. Helps the algorithm and bring more attention to the school, the class. Baba Kashah, share, like, subscribe, do all you can on the class. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag it when you share it on your platform. That way more people can get it. Okay. So a good hashtag for this class, WW3 for World War III, as well as Ukraine, Russia, invasion. You know, anything with that. All right. But with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. So men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Madam Barak,
Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahya Matah, Sar. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Madam Barak, So sisters, when we say Barak, open your hand, put your hand over your heart. Hand open. All right. All right. Yazmatah, hands down, class dismissed.